Hey everybody, welcome to a Clickstuff live stream, Heroclix Graveyard. This is all going to be all Sam, so I'm getting the camera turned around her way. I'm trying to make sure we can get the comments up here. I don't know which way I need to switch. So, I'm looking here. Comments. There we go, there's the comments. Alright.
Hey.
Jeremy Costello's watching. I
want to eat some of his wife's food. I swear. I'm going to defriend you because I keep looking at that food.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Sam's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Bring it back.
Jason, we're not going to set anything on fire because not today, because we are in the house today.
We're in the house,
it's pouring rain here in the Midwest, so we're not.
No fires or explosions today, but wanted to do a special thing for the Clicks community. I know I haven't been around in a while, the COVID stuff and everything like that, but I'm back. I'm officially getting back into the game. Now, I know I wasn't present much, but I was watching people. I was watching the games online, so I know what's going on. And I want to do something special because tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow's the big day. We have to say goodbye.
Today, we're saying goodbye today, technically.
We're saying goodbye today, but
technically tomorrow's the new day.
Tomorrow's the new day. So, and I have to say that this retirement's hitting pretty hard for me, okay? I know it's hitting pretty hard for a lot of the Clickstuff crew here.
Stephen Clark Jr. says burn Unimind.
No!
Even though he was the one that used to play full Unimind.
He did play full Uni, so why would you burn full Uni?
Yeah.
So let's just get into... I've got the special graveyard here. I've got some comments and questions and everything. So chime in if you got some good memories, that way people can read about them. If you have a special figure that you have played your best game and that figure won the game for you, comment on our page. We want to read those stories because that's what the Clicks game is for. Making memories, having fun, and when your giant girl crit hits to pop a uni, that's a memory, okay? So let's start with objects, okay? Alright, so we had the Mighty Thor set come out, and it brought some objects. Now, I went through, and I don't want to go through everything, because that'll take for days. So I picked two. I picked two of the ones that I felt changed the meta right off the gate. Like, boom. Most played objects out there. First off, this little thing. It's called Mirror. I'll burn this one, okay? This is one that I would burn if I could burn. Because this thing was not nice to play against.
Annoying?
Annoying, yes. Unless I played against Jason. Jason would always roll that one or two,
Or whenever I played Zach Brazier and I called out my Nightwing, I was just like, alright, charge Flurry, and the first one it pops, the first shape change.
So, it was a great object. Shape change 3 through 6. You have like a really good chance of hitting shape change all the time. So 7 points, light object, game changer. R.I.P. Mirror. Alright, now, Mjolnir. This little piece of plastic, people, cost $150. Not the figure. People didn't really care about the Thor, okay? It was this. This little piece of plastic changed the meta right off the gate. And fantastic. Alright, Mistress Death, fantastic for. I'm going to be 10 squares away, and I'm going to hit you with this thing. So, I played it a lot. When Star Fox came out, it was definitely a piece to play on Star Fox for a while.
It did pretty well for me on Star Fox.
Yeah, did pretty well for Daniel. It took a little bit of a back burner. Here in the recent months, you really haven't heard of it, seen it or anything, but such a good piece, and it definitely needs to be mentioned. It needs to be, put into the graveyard next to the mirror. So, Let's get to, let's see, before I get on anything. So Aaron Morgan is asking me, what's one figure you wanted to play but never got around to it? Okay. I never got around to playing Trailing competitively. And I wish I did. Because, like, seeing him later in the game, and I was like, oh my gosh, why did I play this figure? I should have played him because he's fantastic. He's a dice manipulator, Mike White. I wish I would have. It ain't happening now. So, I got asked, who will you miss the most from the Heroclix Undead set?
That came from Scott D'Ignastio.
Yeah. So, the Undead set, I didn't think it got much justice. It's actually a really fun set to play with your friends. They really work together with the zombie horde keyword and stuff like that. Dr. Frankenstein, definitely. He's in here. Let's go ahead and get him out. I don't think he got justice. I think there was a missed opportunity.
I think that's all Tyler's fault.
Well, I think
Tyler should have definitely played it with whales.
I think, yeah, well, he did win Worlds, okay? I mean,
He did win.
Give the guy...
After that,
right.
though, after
But
that...
I think this guy would have been fantastic on any monster team. There was a lot of monster teams going around, and he wasn't played. I played him in States. Was it? Yeah, I played in States with the Popper event.
Yeah, you played it with the Onslaught and stuff, yeah.
And he was really good. He was clutch for me. He's perplexed, and he's got free support. I mean, granted, he has 9 attack. I mean, you got to roll high, but that perplex was key. So I think he was definitely a piece that could have been seen more with the Undead set, but wasn't. So R.I.P. Dr. Frank. What figure? Oh. Okay.
Maya Elga says, Lady Clicks players represent.
Yeah. How grateful are you to not have to play test against Unimine? Okay.
And read off who asked the question,
That was from Jay Solomon. Alright. Many of you guys know I have to play against Daniel 99% of the time. Like, I almost want to, go live one day and just put send help. Like, please. I've had to play against a lot of stuff. And Unimine is one that I can say has been the most challenging, but also has taught me so much. Because I've also played Unimine in my later, before I kind of had the kid and everything, but it was always in the back of your mind when you built the team. You always had that back of your mind deal going saying, can Uni shoot it for 6 and kill it? And so you always had that thought, like, can Uni kill it in one shot? Because Uni was such a very, finagle, he could adapt to any game kind of piece. So I am grateful I don't have to play tests against it, but I hope that there's another piece coming out that'll challenge me just as much as Uni did. So I hope we get that. What figure do you feel was great but never had a chance to shine against the field? Jay Sanzin. I'm sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong. So, I'll just pull it out. So I thought of this. Photon. AI said.
Yeah.
I think it would have been fantastic. He pulls the pog over, kills it, this would be good against the overdrive errors and stuff like that. But, when this came out, so did a lot of retaliators, which then killed said Photon. So, I think it just came out in the wrong set. I think it came at the wrong time. I just wish that, I think Photon, I think Moondragon, I think all of them could have been really good, but the retaliators really killed him off, so.
Yeah, how good would Photon be now to pull over a Jason Pog across the map?
Yeah, exactly. And not have to worry about a group coming over.
A Groot or a Surtur, mainly Surtur, right? Because Surtur would blow through their stop clicks and.
Yeah. So I think they just missed opportunity. Luis Reyes asked, who will you miss more, Groot or Flora? To me, Groot. R.I.P. Groot. All right. I think he's great. He's fantastic. Walking Woods. Now you give your opponent to Dr. Leslie Evans. Okay. Most of the time they forget about it. Cool. he was great for me. I think he was awesome. I wish he would have been seen more on his upper dials, but he was just so good for his cosmic 20-point recal. So, Daniel could concur.
No, I'm going to miss Flora.
You're going to miss Flora?
Groot was so
Groot won you Rock Cup, man.
Groot won me the second Rock Cup. But, I mean, at the time, Groot was fine. Groot was better, I think. But Flora, as it aged there towards the end, Flora became the better play, I think, just because it was a little bit harder to KO.
Well, he was a theme builder.
He was a theme builder that could attack and just wasn't there. Now, trust me, Groot was fine.
Yeah.
But
so
I was reaching. I was
like,
reaching for 2 Floras before a Groot there at the end.
Yeah.
At the end.
One of my best memories, I guess, with Flora is when I played Austin, Lytle. And if he's watching, you know what memory I'm about to say.
Tommy's watching, not Austin.
Tommy's watching. But, dude, Austin hit every single Flora heal ever. And I mean, like, it came to the point where, like, I couldn't attack Flora because there was no way I was going to kill this freaking Floras. Like, he had, like, 3 of them. It was like, roll for Flora. 5, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6. I was like, what? So, I mean, I was, like, astounded. I was like, Austin, I'm going to have you roll my dice when you roll Floras because, obviously, your dice are loaded. So, but it was an awesome game, and R.I.P. Flora, you were a good theme filler for me. Not really a good attacker.
I remember the first time it healed up to its 100-point line, and I had to look at what the special Quake power did. Because I'd played it many rounds before, and it never had healed up that high.
Manny Grant says, sure hope they suspend rotation this year.
Well, that's not happening.
Who knows? We don't know. I mean, COVID-19 is changing the world, as we know. So, Matthew...
But doesn't look like it. Looks like...
What group of characters or type of game effect that you wish had more presence in the post-rotation environment? For example, DC Bombshells, Retaliators, ID cards, Asgardians, Ninja Turtles, blah, blah, blah. I really think that the Ninja Turtles, the 25... That's the starter that had, like, the 25-point lines that were hard to kill. I think they could have been seen more.
The 25-cent turtles?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest misses from this rotation was the 25-cent turtles, Krang, and the starter Shredder all finally had their time that they would have been able to shine.
Yeah.
But they got hosed out on a big run, I think, by just a few days.
Yeah. I think there was a chance there. And I know people played them. It's just...
Oh, and Mudman.
Oh, Mudman.
Mudman was a part of that.
I didn't even bring a Mudman. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about Mudman.
Yeah.
Justin Red Robinson, how much will it cost to have Dan's Unimind tattoo removed now that he's retired? We will talk about Unimind last because that is one that's going to hit a little hard for us guys, okay? But Dan does not have a tattoo, and he's going to be fine, guys. All right, he's going to be fine. So he'll get through it. We got Fantastic Four coming. We've got some good stuff coming. We're going to be good.
Worst case, I'll just play Black Widow.
No, please. For all humanity, someone to do something about Black Widow. Like, for reals. And you guys can hate me for saying it. I just don't like it at all. Jeremy Christie, Unseen will be missed. Yes, he will. He will be missed. Daniel will say it on the podcast. He said this is the worst piece. He didn't like it. I think he was great. Obviously, he was seen in Nats teams, Worlds teams. Just an overall good piece. Now, he was a good ID kind of battery, for what I kind of remember from the back in the days. But he had so much versatility as far as being able to see and prom and stuff. So yes, he will be missed.
So I took him to top 8 at Worlds last year with Uni, and I still don't like him.
Still don't like him. Still doesn't like him.
Still doesn't like. No, I mean, just my opinion. He was fine. He wasn't defining as a piece. The Colossal Retail thing never came into play as much as it should have, and You know, I just was not a fan of Unseen. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He did work for me. He did fine on
Everybody has their own opinions. If you hear baby crying, it's Theo over here. We're trying to restrain him with Cheeto Puffs and everything like that. Yeah, we're those kind of parents. Kurt Thomas is saying what figure deserves to be melted in the fire pit. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. But, you know, I burned a Goblin King, and people know why I burned a Goblin King. So, but I don't think there's really anything that I want to burn. Like, I mean, like, I want to, but then I can't, because there's a lot of bad stuff that I want to say about some of these, but then there's a lot of good stuff that I know that a lot of the community, because like I said, the Mighty Thor set came out and gave us fantastic meta pieces. I mean, fantastic. And then it was like, boom, AI, boom, this. I mean, we had a lot of good stuff. So, I just don't feel like... Whisk has gone stepping up with Fantastic Four and some of the sets coming out, because these are some big shoes to fill, okay? So, Chris Rizzi has a bunch of questions. We'll go into that in a minute. But let's go into some other things. All right. ID cards. They're gone. They're gone. I know some people are super happy. Some people are super upset. I'm in the middle. Okay? One, I don't have to worry about a Cyclops being called out and running across the map and shooting something. Okay? I don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to miss doing that. Okay? I'm going to miss having that. Okay, my piece only has 2 damage. I can't get through your defense, but I could have called in an ID card with this figure and done some damage. I'm going to miss that aspect of the game. Some of the top ID cards, obviously, you know, you had your Wolverine. That card was going for $100.
Yeah, $100 just for the card.
When it first came out. I mean, fantastic, you know, it healed things. Then you had your Cyclops. Now, you had your student ID card and you had your faculty. A lot of the student was played because obviously it's 3 points. Cyclops was my #1 call-in, period. Like, he was so versatile for me with Precision Strike. So, Cyclops, well missed. Jean Grey, obviously Jean Grey. When you pull in the Chase, Jean Grey, I'll just pull these figures out. So you have the Wolverine, super rare Wolverine. Okay, R.I.P. Super Wolverine. Then you had your Cyclops. Now, to those you can't really see, but this is Mr. Glueface. This is important to the Clickstop crew. Okay, this is Mr. Glueface. This has been around. It's been around the U.S. a little bit. Okay, so we'll have to put Mr. Glue. Oh, I'm gonna drop Mr. Glueface.
Yeah. Gosh, he's getting ready to head to retirement. You're gonna destroy him.
But he's been a great asset to the Clickstop crew. And then, of course, well, like I said, the Jean Grey key card. You had this lady, the Chase. You know, running shot pin side with outwit. And then you have a free TK, so you can either get off the board or you can TK an object. I was fantastic. So, one of my favorite ID cards I'm going to miss was this, Chamber. Chamber was clutch for me many games. Being able to call in Chamber and then just poison was awesome. He had great stats, so he was able to do some work. He's going to be well missed. So, I was thinking, some of the ID cards I think that were missed being played. First of all, Psylocke. I don't think she got enough time. Like, we got the ID card, we finally got her in the Regenesis, and then it's retired. Or we didn't really get to play her. Then there was Joker. I think Joker was a card that you saw here and there, but you didn't really get to see competitive play with it. I think it was a missed opportunity. And then also, Harley Quinn was on the honorable mention because she was just so good with the title character Harley Quinn. So, RIP.
Tyler won with Harley.
Yeah.
A title Harley. Jesse Cote says Blue Phoenix off of the Jean Grey ID card.
Yeah, that was definitely a play right there at the end. So, that was a really good play, actually. So, let's go into some more figures that I know is going to be missed. Okay.
Jason was excited that you mentioned Blueface.
Clueface. Hey, he's a part of our crew here.
Paul Cote says he'll miss running shot and the inspirations.
Yeah, I can see that. Most definitely. Okay. Star Fox. Fantastic. Awesome. He was played a lot. Either being an internal. I played him on my Hawkeye team. He was awesome. Like the Perplex, Power Cosmic, Stop Click. Now, he was easily be able to kill via an ID card. Okay, that happens. But, you gotta believe in your rollout, okay?
I did. And I did. That was big for me. Top 16 and top 8 of my second Rock World Championship. I rolled a 6 against Tyler and a 6 against Easton on Precision Strike.
It happens, people.
Star Fox can do it, okay? Star Fox can do it. Maya Elgin said that she still needs a Star Fox.
You'll be able to get one pretty cheap here soon. Angel. I think this is a piece that was played somewhat competitively.
It's a Nate White meta.
It is Chicago meta. I think that... I don't know how to say this. I think it was good. It was scary to play against because you didn't want to, blow them up because then, they don't care. That's what they want to do. They want to blow stuff up. So they don't care if they sacrifice a figure or two. They want to blow your team up. So it was definitely a scary figure to play against. But awesome sculpt as well. Just go WizKids on that. Trailing. I talked about trailing. I am going to miss this guy. I wish they had one more year. I think he was seen a few times near the end, not really in the beginning.
He won. Isaac had him on his Worlds team. Isaac won Worlds with him.
Okay. But I just don't think... You didn't really see him much before then.
Right. Well, that was because whenever Q Prime and Q Super Rare came out, we read the rules again, and you had to replace dies after Prob.
Yeah.
So that was the newly discovered rule that suddenly made trailing better.
The stop plate, he was so good. He went for 85, I think, at the most. So he was a... Theo has a lot to say about trailing. So RIP trailing. You can go up front, buddy. Alright. That's Connor mentioned. Beta Ray. Mr. Beta Ray Bill. He came out of the gate swinging. Swinging. And I remember reading his card and being like, what the F? Okay, so, fantastic. I love the sculpt. I think he came out swinging, did fantastic, and kind of died down after people was like, hey, we got this little piece called Mewtwo, and that takes away Beta. So, one of my best memories, I played against Floyd Ransom, and he was playing Beta, and I sat across from him, and he saw my build sheet, and he's like, well, this game is going to last 5 minutes. And it lasted less than 5 minutes, because I came over with my team, with Milner, and just killed Beta in one turn, and it just went downhill from there for him. But it was an awesome game. It was one of my fastest games I've ever won, so it was really cool. But he's definitely a piece that will be missed. Was Game Changer. Let's see, here's Harley Quinn. She was a title Harley. She was the one that was been called in for the Perplex. If you listen to the podcast, I hate Harley Quinn. Alex teases me because I hate Harley Quinn. But she will be missed from the ID card. Plain and simple. Alright. Mr. Green Arrow. Now, this guy is a sore spot for Daniel just because he was like the kryptonite to Uni.
Quite literally, because his power is kryptonite arrows against Superman. So
there we go. So this was the piece that, if you played Uni, you had, in the back of your mind, you had to be like, I gotta believe. You had to be like a Zach Brazier kind of role here, okay? So if you missed your rollouts, you were dead. You were dead, gone. Just obliterated. So I know Easton did really well with him at Nationals.
No, Easton got second at Worlds with him. Tom won Canadian Rock Nationals with him, and it was the Tom won with him first. I beat Tom at the Rock World Championship with him, playing him with Starro. Mm-hmm. And it was funny, the Harley and the Green Arrow were part of the reason for a rule change with the title characters because of the Fast Forces Penguin. And so that that was a big deal. Green Arrow was a part of that. Of course, Fast Forces Penguin retired last year, but
you still see him play. Like, you played against him in some online tournaments, and he's just good. Like, he's just solid.
Main Force. He's good until the day he retired.
I miss calling him out on an ID card.
Everybody misses calling him out. Nobody can say that they don't miss that.
I mean, if you say you miss that, you don't miss that, then something's wrong with you. That was a play right there. So, all right. So I don't want to get to the big guy yet, because
the big guy.
All right. Some honorable mentions that I think were just not played, should have been played. Triples. We didn't see triples. And I don't know why.
Not enough of them.
I don't know. But RIP triples. We have like 20 of them. I don't know why we have 20 of them, but we have 20 of them. Okay.
Vulture came out too, was one of the big reasons.
Okay. So triples. Al Jordan. I think he was definitely, you saw him here and there. I know Daniel played him a couple times. I think he had opportunities, especially with some of the newer sets.
I won a states with him, he was a good state level figure. Al won several state championships.
He's just so versatile, being able to go tiny, colossal, and whatnot, the perplexes and whatnot. So, R.I.P. Al Jordan. Kite Man. Man, we talked about Kite Man when they first came out. We were like, Kite Man. That was all the talk, man. Especially for me. Like, I was super stoked about Kite Man. So, I think he was seen played a little bit. I wish he was seen more. I think limitations of being able to carry two was something, but...
And he had low speed overall, really.
I mean, hey, he deserves to go in the graveyard, okay?
He does.
All right. Captain Kirk. All right, this is Texas Meta right here, okay? This is right here. This was brought by Texas Meta. I really slept on this piece until I faced it from the Texas Meta guys with the Clicksmen. And I was like, what in the world are they doing? And I was like, oh my God. What? So, honorable mention, Captain Kirk definitely was a game changer. Brought that new team into the spectrum, and it shocked me. I mean, doesn't take much, but it definitely did. So, you can go in the graveyard, buddy, with your buddies. All right. Big Tony. Dale and I just talked about this, that we're going to miss Big Tony.
Yeah, because there's no single perplex for like 15, really, I don't think, unless there's something in Justice League that I've missed. But just a good straight 15-point perplex.
So I'm going to miss him. Okay? He was a good filler, good perplexer. King Shark. Now, I know people, he's horrible to play. Okay? But out of all these sculpts, alright, this by far is the best sculpt I've ever seen in Heroclix. Okay? This is awesome. This is a shelf piece. Okay? I wish he would have been able to be played. I know Chad Birdsall played him at Kokomo that one time.
He played it in Lexington.
He played in Lexington. I mean, he played at Kokomo. I played him at Kokomo.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it was definitely scary because, you were just like, oh my gosh, here comes some freaking sharks. He's definitely not singing Baby Shark song. So, fantastic skull. I love it. He's definitely going to go in the graveyard because of that reason. I just wish we could have made a meta. Alright. Let's do the big guy and then we'll do the retaliators. So, Chris Rizzi, real quick. Do you think having a 300-point modern team is too restrictive? I think when the bigger dials coming into better, maybe having a 400-point. I don't think that's the right play. Not at all. I understand there's bigger dials, but for modern competitive play, I think 300 keeps it pretty level as far as like you're not having a gigantic, hard to kill 375 point figure, and it could be bad. I don't agree with that. Now I think 400 limited I think is great. Back in the day, it makes it say back in the day. I don't know. I just don't do the 400 point modern. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that will cause just a lot of. Now I know we've all been there in a team building, and you like, I need 5 points. I need 3 points. Why can't we just do 310? Why can't we do 305? But that's part of the game, you know. Like sometimes you have to sacrifice a piece and play like a little lesser a piece because of the points, and they have to make it somewhat fair. And I think the 300 mark is perfect. In your opinion, why is there such a disconnect to using older retired pieces in major events? It's reusing product that we all have had, just sits in the box.
It's rules interpretation.
Yeah.
WizKids, I mean, just doesn't fully support updating older sets with the rules. That's the big problem. Any of the current like golden formats are like riddled with unerrated and unupdated figures because there's no WizKids official updating of rules, and
Yeah.
it can become pretty toxic if you're not just fully in the mindset of playing that kind of event.
And he also says, do you think like doing something with older figures, like updating the dials and powers? I think they're already kind of doing that. If you can, I mean, obviously not like resources and stuff, but if you look into some of the newer sets, they're bringing new figures, they're bringing back some of the older stuff, like with the Fantastic Four set, we're getting a Mole Man. We haven't had a Mole Man forever.
Galactic Guardians.
You know, we're getting that stuff back. So they are listening, and I know that they're willing to bring back some of the older stuff with newer dials. They just can't use 2003 stuff now, because back then, if you had a 9 attack, you were rocking it, man. Now if you have a 9 attack, you're like, I need freaking perplexes. Like, where can I get some perplexes at? And, you know, unless you're, you know, freaking Zach Brazier and wants to be like, 9 attack, I need a crit hit, here's 2 6s, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could do a job of updating the rules and errating whatever older figures set by set. But they'd have to be able to want to officially support that before it became a real type of event, I think.
Yeah. Real quick before I get into some of the retaliators, Jesse Cote talks about being progged into a crit hit with Mangog on a Carnage Unseen Kingdom Pog, and Mangog and whole team. Let's just go ahead and talk about him. He was awesome. Mangog, I loved him. I loved him and hated him. Okay, I played him. He was awesome because if you got to pull off his retail, you were like chomping at the bit. You were like, okay, if I get to Mangog a freaking team, let's go. And I did. There was multiple times I Mangogged the whole team and wiped him. And it was awesome. But then again, he was #1 target. Like, people were like, I've got to kill Mangog. So it was like, if I played against it, Mangog was my #1 guy to go to target. He was my #1 kill. If I was playing Mangog, I was more protecting Mangog and hoping I could pull off his retail. So I've definitely I've played against a Mangog that has came over, crit missed twice in a row. That was with who's Christoph House's friend up north?
Oh yeah.
I forget his name.
Jay Sly.
No.
Oh, I don't remember.
He put in Kokomo. It's gonna bug me. But you know who you are. He brought over Mangog. He crit missed. He probbed with his unseen or something, and he crit missed again. And I was like, that just happened. And like, like, if it was a fun game, I probably would have prodded him out of it. But, like, it's a tournament play, so I was like, I feel so bad, but your man God dies. So, he was awesome. He's definitely going to be missed. So, we got plenty of, stories here to tell, but let's go ahead and get to some of these. Carnage, 10-point retaliator. He was definitely seen, I think, out the get-go. Whenever the TNT set came out, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, look at this Carnage! He's a filler. He's a 10-point retaliator." And
he was a sidestep equipper too.
Yeah, sidestep equipper. 11 attack, 3 damage, and then he brings in a symbiote pod. Like what? So awesome. Now, if you have a Carnage that has all these tentacles left on it, I think it's probably worth probably at least $15 at this point. So you can
more than that, yeah.
I know that every Carnage we have has lost a ton of these tentacles off of this. So RIP Carnage, you will be missed, buddy. I think we had up to 7 of those.
I think we're back. I think we kept 4 or 5. I kept the one I won Rock World Championship with.
Giant Girl from AI Set. I love her because I played her on the Hawkeye team. She was definitely seen with the Avengers theme teams making a big theme. These were awesome. I have so many good memories with this one and also the Fast Forces. Daniel, I've blown Daniel's mind many times crit hitting with these things. So they were just awesome. They were hard to take down because if she hit and she healed and she had charge and you had at least 6 or 7 of them on the board. It was crazy. So, and then Vulture came and then that just ruined it. Just Vulture. And, whatever. So, RIP Giant Girl. I'm running out of space in my graveyard here. Got all the big guys in here. So, alright. A piece that I wish was seen more. The Dune Buggy. I don't remember really seeing it.
I played Dune Buggy on the last version of Uni.
Yeah. And it's a piece that I wish I'd seen more. I'm sorry about my kid, guys. I'm sorry. This is the life of the towels right now. We got a kid. It's crazy. I get no sleep, really. So, I wish the Dune Buggy was seen more. I'm gonna miss it. I think now, if we had a Dune Buggy now, it would be seen on every team because being able to reduce the attack, awesome. So, RIP Dune Buggy. And, alright. Now, if you have a sorter that this didn't happen to, you're one lucky person, okay? We have, I think, 3 or 4 sorters. I think 2 of ours are broke at the feet. We've tried to glue them, but it doesn't happen. But, alright, sorter. Gotta love him, gotta hate him. I don't know. I got mixed feelings. I want to burn him, but then I don't because he's so good. Alright? So, you played against a sorter, it's like Mangog. You played against a sorter, he was your #1 target because you had to get him out. He can't come across the board with what does he have? He had a 12 attack. 12 attack coming across the board. And then he hits you and then he's like, hey, I'm going to pin you one. So, if you're playing Uni, he was like, you had your butt puckered, hopefully you can kill Surtur. Yeah. I crit miss against the Surtur with Uni with a 14 attack. It was great. Didn't have a prob on it either. So, yeah, that just lost me the game, period. So, it was awesome. Not really, but one of the best memories I have of that. But I know a lot of people are going to miss him. They love playing him. But I won't. But he definitely needs to go in the graveyard because he was such a good piece in the meta. You saw him a lot. Alright, now I gotta go to my last 2 pieces here that are loved by the Quick Stop crew. We're gonna start with Wales. Alright? Here, you can bring Theo here. It's okay. Wales. Now Tyler, I'm sorry, bud, I'm sorry. They're gonna retire Wales tomorrow. And it's happening. So just drink an extra glass of bourbon. It'll be okay. It's okay to cry. I know he won your worlds, and I hated playing against the dang things. And Tommy, you played him too, And I hated playing against them, but they were fantastic, okay? I just was not able to grasp that play. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't see it. So, but Tyler also had hot dice. Like, those rock dice he has, those brown ones, if someone finds them, can you steal them from him for the next tournament so he doesn't have them? So, Wales are retiring. World Championship team right here. It was on. No one saw it coming, and Tyler did it, and it was awesome. I loved it. I love having him on the team. So, Will is going to retire. R.I.P. Wales. All right. So, last but not least. All right. The figure that I think will be missed the most out of the Cookstuff crew now on the Powell household. Like, I think some of the Cookstuff crew want to burn a uni. But uni mine. This is a piece that I don't care if you hated him or you loved him, but he changed the meta. He was a piece that challenged every team. Like, when we talk about on the podcast, the gauntlet, like when we make a team or we're making it some teams, we had a list of, can it beat Uni? Can it beat this? Can it beat that? Like, Uni was number one. Like, will it be shot by Uni turn 2 and killed? And so that's what made him so good, because he was like, and I think, I just think that he, like I said, he challenged team builds the most. And
Come on, Papa.
there was a lot of kryptonites. Come here, Bubba. Come here. You want to be part of it? You want to be part of it? Oh, here.
See, Dada's not good enough, folks.
See?
I am so sorry.
You get to be part of the live stream here. You can have that. All right, so back to Uni. Love him, hate him. He challenged every team build you had. You know, every time you built a team, you had to think in the back of your mind, if I face a Uni, how am I going to do this? So, he's going to be missed. He's going to be missed. I really hope we get something just as good. And I'm not saying, like, people want to hate him because they said I could never beat Unimine. Unimine is beatable, people. I've lost with him many times, okay? He's easily beat popped. Like, especially now with a bunch of, you know, outlets and perplexities and stuff. He had his time. He definitely did work for us, so R.I.P. Unimine.
Like I said on the podcast, I was glad I never had to face Uni with, or place Black Widow with Uni, because Black Widow could, a recruit from Black Widow could pop Uni with the support of her Papa, or Mama Widow. So.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said earlier, these are some big shoes to fill, people. Like, there's a whole box of our retired stuff that I had to go through, and I thought, man, this is good. This is good. I wish this was be seen more. Wow. Why didn't we see this played? This would be fantastic now.
Jason says Surtur should get a Viking funeral. Paul Cote says rip Surtur as well.
Yeah, Surtur was good. Surtur and Mangog, I think right out the gate were just like, I mean, you obviously, when you felt the box, you're like, whew, they're heavy. Like, you were like, oh, I got a Surtur and Mangog. But
Maya is curious. Possible Uni successors are Mortal Hulk, Captain Marvel, Darkseid. So Maya,
and Mortal Hulk. I can see Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, Captain Marvel and Black Widow are probably the closest things. They take so many hits to KO. They're offensive. They just don't have the stats that Uni had. They didn't have 21 defenses, shape change, super senses. So it's a little bit. They're a little more hardier. But
I think the thing is with Uni too is Uni was he was a threat to objects because he was able to either give somebody the range to shoot it, to TK it. He was able to give himself the range to shoot it, TK it, whatever he wanted to do. So there was that threat too. So you also you didn't see many objects played because of the threat of Uni. So now.
And the threat of Jean Grey ID.
Yeah.
Paul Cote also says, rest in peace, Starter Hulk.
Starter Hulk. I didn't even think of Starter Hulk. See, that's why I gotta have you guys on here, because you're gonna bring up figures that I don't think about. So, yeah, Starter Hulk definitely was a sleeper piece, and I think it was Randy.
Randy played it a
Randy
lot.
came in to Owensboro and played it, and we were like, "What team is this?"
Yeah.
And then he wrecked face, and we're like,
Yeah, he did good with
freaking
it.
50-point Hulk, man.
Yeah,
So-
and so my Dark Side would totally be my go-to piece post-uni, but Black Widow completely ruins the the ruler of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
So
with that being said, guys, I appreciate you watching. Theo's losing his marbles right now. But I appreciate you watching. I am back. I am in the process of practicing. I'm going to play in PJ's event. I hope that we can play in person sometime. So I want to see you guys. If you comment on my post, share your stories of some of these figures. Share the stories of some of your best games you had with them. That's what we want to read. That's what we want to talk about. This is our time to remember them and, let them rest in peace, okay? So, all right. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good night.
yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Sam does the kiddo stuff, does the house. I handle the tech. So typically when I record the podcast, she gratefully lets me go upstairs and shut the door. Whenever I help her record something, we have to deal with the family, which is all good. We love our little Theo and Pepper.
We love the community. Thanks for supporting us.
We love you guys. Miss you guys in person. Hopefully we get to be able to see y'all safely soon. Thanks for watching and have a great night.